Well, the other big story now, if you are squeamish, we are going to show this in full. Michael Barlow, the injury to the Fremantle Docker. So look away now if you don't want to see it, but this is not good.
Oh, I'm not
we're all talking without looking at the screen, but I guess we have a duty to show it to those that haven't seen it. But it's just horrible, and what a roller coaster. This has been the great footy story, one of the great footy stories of 2010, and now it's turned into
one of the
nightmare.
best footy stories I've seen in the last decade. I love the article. Peter Hanlon wrote a fantastic article in The Age last week about his family, the setbacks that he'd had. He was told by everyone, look, maybe just accept being a VFL player. Your time's going to come and go in the game. And he just always said to him, you know, I'm confident I can make it at this level. Not only had he made it this year, he was second favourite for the Brownlow medal. He was an instrumental part of the Fremantle side, and he was just consistently winning the footy and doing brave things like he was on that occasion. He's hurt himself again being really brave, and I'm shattered for him because I know that
I think we all are,
this injury isn't one that, look, he'll come back, and he's obviously got the steel and resolve to be a really good player, but do you ever actually get your full strength and your full movement back from an injury? The answer's probably no, so he's going to have to deal with some deficiency from now on.
Vossi broke his leg at Subiaco.
It was a horrible one.
It was a horrible one, and he came back from it. Now, you saw that. He had his eyes on the ball, a collision was coming, he didn't take his eyes off the footy, he's broken his leg. What did he do? He tried to get up, he tried to stand up on a broken leg. They should send a copy of that tape to South Africa and show a few of those soccer players.
Chris Bond from the Dockers coaching staff visited him today and said he was in pretty good shape.
He's in good spirits, yeah. We've just spent a little bit of time up there. He's had some wonderful messages, wonderful support from people all through Australia. A lot of people from other clubs, a lot of players from other clubs, but also, you know, his family and his teammates.
And now we speak to the man that collided with Michael Barlow. That's Reece Palmer, young Reece Palmer, who's had some pretty bad setbacks himself the last 12 months or so. He spoke to 10 News tonight.
I sort of copped a knee to the face, as you can see there, from his other leg. So I was a bit worse for wear after that, but as soon as I got up and saw him laying on the ground, I sort of took my attention to him. Look, I felt a bit hollow inside and still do now, but spoke to Mickey Barlow about it last night, and we both agree that we're just two young kids going after the footy, and an unfortunate situation happened. Last night he was joking around with the nurses, telling them that he'll be back on the track next week. So, look, he's a great young kid, and yeah, he's just a pleasure to play with.
Spoke well there, Reece Palmer, didn't he? I thought he, you know, put his point across, and nothing he could do to avoid, obviously, the injury to Barlow. But it's worth taking a look at his numbers for the year, Robin Quarters. Michael Barlow, number 1, disposals, handballs, uncontested possessions, handball receives. Second, hardball gets, loose ball gets, tackles and goal assists. He's almost the complete midfielder, scoring goals, running hard right across the ground, and prior to the injury, his Brownlow medal odds, you know, sitting second just behind Hodge on the week before, but he'd been second favourite for most of the year. Unbelievable, unbelievable.
Every line of betting's changed now. He's out, obviously blown out now because he can't win it. But so all the betting's changed from that one injury.
How does it affect Fremantle and their opportunity? They'll play finals this year. How do you think it'll affect them?
Well, it's going to be a really hard player to replace. We just saw what value he's adding to the side, and you don't easily replace someone who's able to perform at that level with those numbers. So it's a tragedy for him, but for Fremantle, they're going to have to try and get someone else to step up. But they too have been a really good story this year for Fremantle, and they've got 2 games clear of the next in the top 4, so they're going to be hard to try and knock out of that spot.
Well, the other